No, sir. I wouldn't do that.
Yep. And with that, happy Sunday, everybody, and welcome to another comic book rating or comic book cover rating show. This is LK, and along with us on this journey so far, our panel consists of our Doctor of Comicnomics, Eric Breen. How are you today, Eric? That good. Okay. Well, hopefully these will brighten your day up or evening, because this is Vampirella, so hopefully a lot of Joe Jusko goodness in here. We also have Pixel. Pixel, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Excellent.
Ready to simp over these covers like the rest of us. That's what the kids say these days, I think.
Yeah. And we've got one half of the Lester sisters here. We've got Amy. Hey, Amy, how you doing?
Hey, doing good. Got myself a nice cold drink of water, and
one half of the sisters, but a whole Lester.
There you go.
I just popped in to see if everything was getting going.
So would that be less sisters?
No. Well, less sister, yeah. But
if they both show up, is it more or less sisters?
More.
I don't know. You're confusing me now.
It's like math.
Well, at least you don't have a bird in your ear.
That is true. And Englantine is here.
Just
Hello,
for
sir.
a little bit, I am crashing out. I just have not recovered from yesterday.
If only you had the energy of a 2-year-old bird.
I know, right?
True.
Get off the wire,
I
boy.
wanted to check on everybody.
Yeah. Say hello.
Hello.
This is one that I gotta say. I looking at the covers as I was gathering them, there are a lot of really cool covers, and a couple of them might not get tints this time around. So,
okay. Well,
you guys enjoy. I was just seeing if everything was. You didn't go to sleep at all. No, I did, but I woke up really freaking early and have been up since. I'm crashed. I'm so tired now. But I am still taking care of a 2-year-old. I thought I was done with this part of my life.
No.
All right. You guys have fun. Awesome covers.
See ya.
I gotta ask a question. Tomorrow is my birthday. And we do have I think we're gonna make it because we're planning on going out in the afternoon to see a what do you call them in the daytime movies?
Matinee.
Matinee of the Pixar film with the head.
Inside Out 2?
Inside Out 2. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna go in the afternoon, and I was wondering. Yeah, we've got Captain Carrot all lined up, but does anybody mind America Chavez? That's a wave of no.
That's how you want to spend your birthday?
Guess there's a dozen covers.
The last part. Either one is gonna. I think Captain Carrot.
I'd rather do America Chavez.
But I was thinking. I'm not saying we don't do Captain Carrot. I was just saying. I would love to do something crazy like would never get a vote. But let's go check them out. But anyway, you guys have fun tonight. They're great covers. Hello, Dark Admiral, Jackson Royker.
I mean, it's your birthday.
I'm sorry.
Wow, you are tired.
Yeah, my eyes are all messed up. I'm reading it wrong. Where do I get headphones like that with a bird attached? I'll ship it to you. Yeah, at least America Chavez is hot. Hey, Yankee Poodle. Anyway, you guys have a great time. Enjoy.
All right.
See ya.
Thank you much.
Bye. Thanks, LK, for taking over.
Yep.
Good night.
Alrighty.
Okay. I was about to remove him if he wasn't going to remove himself. So, let's see. Yeah. Hey, so as a reminder, and for any new folks here that are tuning in here live or catching this after the fact, what we're doing is we're grading comic book covers tonight. Tonight is Vampirella magazine covers, so it should be a lot of fun. We grade these on a rating system of 1 to 10, 1 being god awful, all the way up to 10 being super awesome. And we do encourage your participation in the chat. Please, rank along with the panel here. We'll include your scores in our preliminary results during the show. And, if you're watching after the fact, please go ahead and put your rankings into the comment section. And we'll add those in, and there'll be a future update show where we get a final ranking. So anything else I'm forgetting here? Well, of course, this is the I Love Comics channel. And if you do like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications so you get notice warnings on every live stream that goes up. And if you do want to help out the channel a little bit, you can always drop $1 into a Ko-Fi account. And the
You're not watching Mad Men with the Bob.
Oh, okay. I'm wide awake.
Sorry, am I boring people here trying to get through the stuff? There it is, ko-fi.com/England team from I Love Comics. So every $1 is greatly appreciated.
And if you're watching after the fact, leave a comment.
That is true. So let's see. Oh, Dark Admiral saying, okay, it's like if you're going to sleep, I'm going to put you to sleep. Well, hopefully I'm not putting you to sleep.
No, I think that was about for about E.
No, about E? Yeah, it could be. So, all right, we are set to go here. And based on the way the order popped up here on my screen, Eric Breen, you are going to get to start us off with issue number 1 here. Vampirella.
Are you kidding me?
No,
This is a 10. She's standing on a skull. She's got the moon behind her. She's got wings coming out of her butt.
All right, a 10 for Eric. Pixel, what say you?
I'm actually going to go 9.
A 9, okay.
Because her right leg, the left one that we're seeing, it's something about the way that it is curved just doesn't feel like she's actually standing. And on the other one, she's standing on the skull. That's fine, but that leg isn't standing properly. So she's either about to buckle her knees in and die, but
all right,
it's still the details.
Okay, a 9 from Pixel. And Amy.
Yeah, I mean, I really love the artist's brushwork, the way that he kind of uses the colors. They're nice warm tones and they gradient very softly. This looks like it might be like a pastel, like an oil pastel possibly from the pattern in the back of it. But I have to agree with Pixel here. There are some structural issues that I'm kind of surprised to see from someone who's pretty good with shading. But, some people are more trained in like painting and landscaping and not necessarily quite as attuned with drawing or anatomy, or maybe the sketch was just in a hurry. But with such great detailing like in the legs and some of the musculature in it, those structural issues, I'm not sure exactly. I mean, unless maybe the person who did the pencil wasn't the same person who did the painting. I've actually done coloring once for an artist who didn't draw very well. It was amazing the amount of work I had to do to save that thing. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I really do like this piece. And her face is kind of interesting. It's flat and a lot of its structure is kind of blurred out that I can tell. But it has sort of an interesting expression. The softness of the hair is kind of neat too. So I do like the piece, but yeah, it's kind of a confusing, its strengths and its weaknesses, but I couldn't go less than a 9. It is really cool.
Less than, okay, a 9. All right, when it comes to me, boy, I don't know. This cover, parts of it are doing it for me, but there's other parts, as you point out, like the leg, the kind of the blur on the face, not being very distinct. Not a lot going on in the cover. I'm going to give it an 8.
Very cool.
So let's see what we get from the chat. And once again, if you just joined us, we are ranking Vampirella magazine comic book covers, and we are using a system 1 to 10, 1 being god awful, all the way up to 10 being super awesome. please put your rankings in the comments in the chat here, and we'll include them in our total. So to kick us off, Rhaegar is giving us an 8, and Jackson. Oh wait, I don't think that's Jackson's ranking. He's just saying the frog excused himself since he'd vote all the covers a 10. Well, he might be along here shortly once he satisfies a craving. Joe, hey, welcome, Joe. He gives it a 7. Jackson is here. He gives it an 8. He says, I've never been a fan of Frazetta's faces. Very fair. Dark Admiral, I don't know if I can vote. Can I see the back first? He's kidding. Of course, he gives it a 10. Let's see. In a Disguise is here. He says it's a 6. Her legs look weird, and she seems too small to fill the page. Yeah, I that was something else that kind of I noticed too. That there's a lot of dead space around the cover there. Cinema Quirks. Wow, he's here. So Cinema, we grade on whole numbers, so I'm going to mark you down as an 8 on that one. Let's see. More chat there. One Slick Dude's here. Oh, I guess I got to bring him in. And, whoops, there we go. Oh, who keeps popping him in and out?
That's me trying to let myself in. I'm
Oh,
independent.
that's right. I forgot you have those rights.
You don't have any rights. No rights.
Right to party. Hey, that was great. There's no E.
Was it the chupa?
No, there's no E here. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Oh, One Slick Dude. He's given it an 8. He says, well, I like Frazetta. This one is very plain compared to most of his work. Yep, that was something else.
I'm looking forward to seeing the others.
Marania is saying, come hither, pose. Spotlight moon on Vampy as it should be. Less bodacious than I'm used to seeing her. Yeah, score a batty 9. Wow, Marania not giving a 10.
Wow.
Let's see. Okay, Cinema. Cinema there is saying he wants a 9 instead of an 8. All right. And looks like we've got everything else. Frog, what are you giving?
This is a 10. It's Frank Rosetta, dude. First cover, awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, there will be other covers, so.
I know. Yeah. They're all by Frank. They're all by 10s.
I was going to say, don't shoot your wad.
Nah. I'm good.
He will multiple times.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see what we got here. We got a 6. We got a 7. We got 3 8s. We got 4 9s, and we got 3 10s. So this opening cover. Oh, hey, Steven Spot comes in here with a late 10. Got that one. So we'll add in that 10.
I kind of wonder if he was going to show up tonight. I'm like, I'm going to get food. I'm like, I'll let everybody in. I'm like, I'm looking like, they're not live yet.
Yeah. And even with that 10, it doesn't change things. It's still, we're going to start out with an 8. So issue number 1 is an 8.
So thank you for being here, LK.
No problem. I was just hanging around, not doing much. So, all right. Done with issue number 1, and we go on to issue number 2, and that is Pixel, who gets to start us off on issue number 2.
Oh, this is a 10. I was trying to wait a moment, figure it out, taking a look. I definitely think this is a 10. This beguiling figure before us with the lightning coming from this ominous light, and these creatures, maybe human, part human, who knows, these ghouls locked up. It's all too alarming not to enjoy. 10.
10, all right. Amy.
10.
It's such a fun, campy little cover, isn't it? It says, this issue, meet evilly, Vampirella's cousin, the wildest, weirdest witch ever to cast a spell. I love it. I'll give it a 10 too.
What a name!
Her cousin. That's amazing.
Okay, so what's your score?
Oh, a 10? I think it's a lot of fun.
A 10, okay. Vinkman.
It's funny because she had a sister later on, but it was one of those. Yeah. Get the whole family together. No.
Oh, I think she's had multiple sisters.
Dude, this is 10. You got the hot evil babe with the hair floating in there, and you got the guys in chains who are like, Governor.
That's better.
So a 10, even though it's not Vampirella on the cover of Vampirella.
Well, she
She's
was
a
just the
cousin.
host. You realize that? She was the host of this. So she didn't have to be on the cover all that. Her name's there. She's not like the Flash. I have to be on every single cover, otherwise it's not good.
Yeah.
Only
Okay.
Zach.
Zach, Flash, same thing. All right. It comes to me. Yeah, I like this one a little bit better than I did the last one. I'll give it a 9. Eric.
Let's see. You got this chick saying hello to her fans. It looks like a rogues gallery of background pictures of Warren magazine, so I've got to give this a 10 also.
Right?
The background of Warren employees.
Look at the bricks. Look at everything, the detail and everything.
Yeah. Well, and that's
what makes it stand out to me a lot.
Presented. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's see what we've got. We've got Rhaegar also coming in with a 10. Maranya hailing quirks. And Steve there, Dark Admiral saying a 10 hands down. Wow. Let's see. Yes, Joe, as I said, it's not Vampirella. He gives it an 8. Let's see. In Disguise, 9. Portions are better. Lots of action. But the face. The butterface. Its face is fine.
I think the face is fine too.
Yeah, One Slick Dude, 9. While the cover is well drawn, she doesn't look much like Vampirella. Well, as we mentioned, she is Vampirella. It's her
Cousin.
Well, that will get in the way of things, won't it?
Maranya says, witchy woman about to take out the critters, just enough background to set the scene. This is what Doctor Strange covers should be, but it's a vampy, so it scores a witchy 10. All right. And let's see, Jackson gives it a 10. Steven Spock gives it a 9. More shout outs to Quirks here. Dark Admiral mentioning he's a sucker for painted covers. Well, then you're going to like tonight. And let's see, it looks like those are all the scores we currently have. But again, feel free to add your scores in the comments. So this time around, we do have 1 8. We've got 4 9s, and we have 8 10s. So I think it's going to be our first 10 of the night. And now I got to find, there it is. Oops, keep going too high. There we go. So issue number 2 is a 10. All right. And we'll see if that becomes the only 10 tonight or if it's joined by some sisters. All right.
Oh, they both here?
Set here for issue number 3. And Amy gets to kick us off on issue number 3.
Oh my gosh, I love this. What an adorable design. It's like a little robot kite fish thing. Oh, this is beautiful. I love it. This is definitely a 10. Let's see. Now see this. Blast off to a nightmare. An unbelievable story of the unexpected from the incredible world of tomorrow. Plus 6 new stories of creeping terror. So it's like a future story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and she's got like a little, is this like a little side iron here? And what a great design. Oh my gosh, I just love that.
Okay.
I don't know if this is one of her cousins or something like this, but very cool.
No, probably not a relation. As I said, I mean, these early ones are all just, they're anthology stories. I think there'd usually be like one Vampirella, or like a sequence of her introducing stuff.
Mm.
Yeah. All right, 10 from Amy Venkman.
Well, I think Marvel needs to learn from this. When you draw a moon at night, it's not yellow like the sun.
There you go. The moon looks different than the sun.
I'm getting heavy metal beats here, aren't you?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I like this. I mean, You still got the Vampirella in the corner box up there. You got the title font. It's cool, and like I said, like it's just I want to know what this story is. I want to know who this character is and stuff. You know, so I'm giving this about a 10.
Wow, 10. Okay.
Wow, another 10.
Yep.
It's gonna be that night.
Yeah, it's good, but I've got some real design issues with it. I feel like they just really, really shortchanged the art here. It should be bleeding off to the edges, and then, you know, there's plenty of space if you expanded the artwork to fit the text in on the side without ruining things. And that, having it blown up and larger, you would get to see more detail.
I think the reason that she's not they draw her that way because she's lonely. She's got one arm and she's on a fish thing and she's got a spear. You know,
She doesn't have one
lonely
arm.
as a night.
Her arms reaching back, holding.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I mean, you have all this white space, you know, off, you know, like a quarter of the page. You know,
So you think you'd rather have a white text over the blue part of the background than blue text on a white thing to kind of mirror the picture? I can see that. Why don't you do a more full bleed on it?
They had to appeal to Zach, okay?
But I just love this design of the painting.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, I mean, it is drawn, you know, or painted beautifully. So I'll still give it a 9. Eric.
Well, Zach just texted me and said, "Give this a 10." I think maybe the reason why this cover isn't, you know, the way it is I do remember they had all kinds of problems getting this issue out. It's
really
a lot lower distribution than the first two, and then the ones after that, yeah, it's expensive as hell.
Right.
I've seen it one time in my life. But yeah, that girl's writing something that's got to get to LK's to vacuum his man cave. But yeah, just looking at it, I'm gonna go 9 because it's not a full cover. But I'm not opposed to the board or anything like that. But yeah, I said just in case I do 11 10s, I want to at least get one that's only a 9.
Yeah. Well, so you're giving this a 9?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was just looking up. Interesting. This is not a Frank Frazetta. This is a Vaughn Bode and Larry Todd.
Yeah, at the bottom you can see their signature of the fish.
Yeah. Oh, very tiny. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Pixel.
I'm going to be a little less kind. I'm going to give it an 8. I think that the white border is a problem. It really is a problem. Because we made an extension of just blank space. That first cover had, sure, it had a problem with too much white space around, but this is far too much white space. Sorry, Zach.
I'm hearing a lot of like less white, more diversity.
That's right. But I'd go ahead, like, change it to white. Go ahead and put something around towards the bottom and around the borders and make that black text white to stand off of the page. It's just not doing it for me much. But it's still really good. I think the girl is interesting, and that weird floating fish thing is worth reading about, I think. So,
yeah.
8.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. So we'll go to the chat here. I've got to point this out. Rick is saying, I once got Jimmy and Boogie 2988 confused, and somebody told me they aren't the same guy. Oh, God.
Oh, that's so rude.
Saga and woe of Boogie 2988, you would know what a gigantic insult that is to Jimmy. So,
yeah. Boogie.
Sorry, Jimmy. So let's see here. Score-wise, Rhaegar, wow, coming out of the gate with a 4.
I feel like somebody should apologize to Boogie.
I know.
Oh no! Oh no!
Boogie faked having cancer. Yeah. That's horrible.
Yeah, Dark Admiral March here gives it a 9. No, Breen, if you want to go down a rabbit hole, Mahler has done 2 videos the last 2 Saturdays on the tale of Boogie and his rise and downfall?
I'd rather rewatch the Yankee Red Sox games from this weekend.
Would you rather watch Mad Men with the
Dark
box?
Admiral gives it a 9. Joe gives it an 8. Steven Spock also gives it an 8. And let's see. Meanwhile, we do have a poll that's been put up. So for a future comic rating stream, your choices are Shadow from the Golden Age, Phantom Comics from Gold Key, Zorro from the Dell 4-color era, or Gold Key Flash Gordon. So make your choices there, and we will see those probably sometime this week. Let's see. So One Slick Dude gave it an 8. Let's see. So you're saying it's too wordy, the art's too small, should fill more of the page. In a Disguise is coming in with a 7, saying gives off a heavy metal vibe, but the cover white sides. Yep, we're all talking about that. Jackson comes in also with an 8, and Rhaegar saying, yeah, it'd be nice to have a ethereal dragon here to balance the scores out. Maranya is saying, honestly, wish the art filled the cover more. Lettering could have been done in the boxes in the negative space. Even with its flaws, it's a spacey babe 10, so it's a third 10 this one gets. And Cinema Quirks comes in with a 7, so 11, so that's 14 total here. Yes, so the poll is up, so please go ahead and vote in that now. And we'll go ahead and put the stop sign up and total this up for issue number 3. And let's see. Well, we've got that 4. We've got 2 7s. We've got 5 8s. We've got 3 9s. And we've got 3 10s. And this one's going to land firmly in the column. So we'll scroll back down and find this one and put this into the 8s. So there is our second 8 of the night. And let's go ahead and get issue number 4 up. This is also not a Frank Frazella cover, but with we'll go ahead and Venkman, you get to start us off here on issue number 4.
All right. Does this strange girl represent the forces of good or evil? See page 5. War Magazine. I'll give it a 9.
A 9, okay.
It's just like she blends right in and everything. You know, it's just beautiful colors and stuff.
Yeah.
I love the texture on it and stuff. But I mean, it's just like, okay, is she like, I want to know, is she some kind of monster? Like, okay, you always see the top part of her. Is it a cliff or alien or whatever?
Right.
And why does she have a harpoon if she's a monster? It's just weird.
Yeah. Well, I think this is going to be another one. It's going to be interesting. I think we'll have a wide range of scores on this because it kind of comes down to, do you just are happy to see landscape, or do you want to see who the book is about? And that's kind of my issue with this one, as you mentioned, is that
you can barely see it really too.
The lead character here is so small. I mean, it is gorgeously, a gorgeously painted background or landscape.
Is she Lobo's sister?
Yeah. So, I mean, with that, I'm going to give it a 7 just because I don't think it's great as a comic or a magazine cover. Eric,
I'm giving this a 10. It's just snap judgment just popped up and said, "Man, I love the way I love the way everything blends together."
Yeah,
see the little moon in the background, and I'm not sure what's going on. Not sure what that thing is she's riding. But it's
that's right. She is riding something.
Yeah, it's just very cool. I like it.
See, I thought she was like sitting on top of a rock formation.
Yeah, I thought too. I thought she's part of a rock.
Or that might be the lower half of her. Who knows?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, so a 10 from Eric.
And look, there's Palpatine in the distance. One recognition.
Yeah. So Pixel.
I'm debating. So the girl appears humanoid, but there's not enough details on the face for me to be sure.
It's a great glad face.
Because I can see the red reflecting off of the eyes from it, but it's looking like she's supposed to be more alien, Maybe. I don't know though. I agree that the background, everything, it's painted beautifully. I mean, even the figure itself is stunning, even though we need a little more detail. But I think a 9. I think I have to go a 9 because it's still really great, but it's missing some things on our key figure in the distance.
Okay, and Amy.
This is interesting. The more I'm looking at this, you can tell, and I don't know whose call this is, but this painting's almost at full bleed, but that's not how it was supposed to be. Not how it was supposed to be displayed. When you cut out what's obviously supposed to be the full bleed area, you have a much tighter composition, which is interesting. I don't know if it would get more detail if it were kind of correct the way it's supposed to be. And I can't blame if it's like an editor's choice for how it's cropped on the cover. I mean, the brushwork and the coloring are just gorgeous. I could see wanting to have it all on there because as a painting, even the rough edges are really lovely.
What is the bleed area?
But as a graphic, as like a graphic arts choice, and I've noticed a lot of people have been kind of leaning in towards the graphic art part of it, and that's interesting. It's something I usually just look at designing brush quality and just been kind of discarding everything else. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. I'm under the impression it's like a rock. She's like a rock creature or a kind of like a minotaur, like a stone minotaur or something. It's an interesting, I think it could be a really interesting design. I couldn't go less than a 9. It really is lovely. I'd like to know more about the character and maybe what's going on, but it's a good figure and it's interesting and it's just so beautifully painted.
Okay, and a 9. Let's see what we got from the chat here. Steven Spot leads off with a 10, joining Breen. Joe says it's a 6. It's too hard to read. Dark Admiral March Hare comes in with a 9, and we get Rhaegar coming in with a 6 as well. In Disguise says 7. It's great, but too much of the monotone color, and she's so far in the background. Is she looking back at what? Once Look Dude says 8. He likes this one better than the last. Too little detail in the creature. They need better line art to show the division between her and the creature. Well, if that's what the
if that's the case, we don't know. I think they purposely did leave it up to your interpretation.
Yeah. So Jackson.
That's why she's in a distance too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Marani is saying again, the art should be bigger. Too much background, too little details, too many fails. Overall, the score is higher than a monochromatic 8, and that's being generous. Wow. We're getting to see a different side of Marania tonight. And Rad Comics, hey, welcome, Rad Art and Comics. He scores this one a 7, saying it's a nice color palette. So give a moment here to see if we get anybody else bopping in here with a score. Let's see, we have 5, 10, 12, 14 so far there. But all right. I mean, what we have. Our total here so far is we've got 2 6s, we've got 3 7s, we've got 2 8s, we've got 5 9s, and we've got 2 10s. So right now, this one comes out to be an 8. Let's see. Rick saying for me, it's fine. So. Let's see here.
Like I said, I love the line art on it. Like it looks kind of grotesque, but I think it's on the left side.
Yeah.
The lines, the strokes, the paint stuff. It looks like, dude, that's cool. I like it.
In the foreground element, it's very, very bold. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm amazed at how good the 8s in this selection are.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So here we go. Number 5. We're back to Frank Frazetta, and this is issue number 5, and I get to lead this one off. And again, interesting now how we're starting to see like less and less verbiage on the cover with more of the art. Here it looks like, I mean, we do have almost a full bleed, although I think it just stops short of the trade dress right there at the top, but it still blends nice. You know, this is just a kind of a great classic Frazetta prehistoric look. You know, the characters are drawn very, very well, and you've got a menacing dinosaur type creature there. So this is going to be my first 10. So I like this one. Let's see, Eric.
10.
All right, nice and easy. Pixel.
So I like a lot about this cover.
But I really hate a lot more.
But there's what. Listen, and
A long way to say it sucks.
no, it doesn't suck.
It
Look,
doesn't.
details are amazing. Look, the figures are awesome. However, why is it sticking out that much? It's just like a tiny bit too up. Let's the chest area is swaying a little.
Well, she has no support, so it's gonna swing.
Yeah, but it doesn't look mid-swing
No.
to me.
Pixel,
So
you ever seen a woman without her shirt?
Yes. So I think
Wow.
I think I'm going to give it a 9 because of that. Everything
right.
else is great.
Body shaming.
But yeah,
Puritan
it's like
Pixel
they're-
gives it a 9. Amy.
You know, it's kind of a shame, but she really does have some construction issues. Her shoulder and arm really aren't that comfortable, and her hips a little out of place. The male figure's a little bit better, which kind of surprises me that he didn't put a little more trouble into the foreground character. The foreshortening's not quite right on her arm either, which sounds like such a minor thing to say. He really is a great painter, and I do love the dinosaur. He's adorable. But yeah, it's hard because I would have liked to have seen that part of the drawing cleaned up a little. And I don't think the environment is as pretty as the previous ones have been, and the design isn't as creative. That said, it's obviously gorgeous painting. So I think I'll give it it's definitely awesome. I'll give it a 9.
A 9. Okay, and Venkman.
We complain about the MCU, but it was already being done back in the 70s, late 60s here, where she's saying, "No, I'm a woman. I'll handle this."
I'm gonna accept it, dinosaur.
Step back, man.
I don't need no man to protect me against his lizard. I'm like, yeah, obviously the girl and the guy stand out into the dinosaur, but I'm looking behind them, just the color palette he chose, everything, the hills. Feel like it's fantasy. And they're standing on I guess what seems like some kind of sandy cliff or rock base. There's some debris by her leg. Looks like some plants,
It
maybe.
looks like grass or something, yeah.
Yeah, and then the dinosaur is down on one knee. Oh, I think that's his leg out there sticking out
He's
by its hand.
proposing.
Yeah, I think he's proposing.
Yep. So, your score?
My score is a 10. Oh, it's
Okay,
great.
that's amazing.
All right. Let's see what the chat's got here. Rad Art Comics comes in with a 9, as does Dark Admiral.
She's like, wait, he's not a bear, but I'll take him.
Yeah. Steven Spock has a 10. Joe and Rhaegar come in with 8s. One slick dude saying that while he likes the art, the background colors wash out too much of the detail for him, so he gives it a 9. Rhaegar is saying she has spinal bifida and scoliosis. No, I think she's
Yeah, just a little.
She is. In Disguise gives it a 10. And Marani is saying repurposed barbarian style cover. Not what I would expect from Vampirella, which is usually horror. The rendering and mystery sells the book. Score it a barbarian 10. There's the Marani we know. Let's see. Jackson saying it's a 9. And Marani is pointing out that the woman has actual human proportions and not a model or superhero elongated form, so it'll look weird to people used to the superhero proportions. And Rhaegar is saying that who's fantasy? That's true. For instance, I didn't even notice the shoulder or hip issue, so
Yeah.
I didn't even notice the shoulder. But I digress. Let's see here what our scoring total is. I don't think this is going to get into the 10 category, but we'll see. So we wind up with 2 8s. We do have 6 9s, and we do have 6 10s.
You guys saying there's a hip issue and a shoulder issue? Well, she's been carrying the man this whole entire time.
Yep. So we're not.
She needs a break, poor thing.
Yep. So unfortunately, it's not going to hit the 10s, but it is a solid 9. So our first 9 of the evening. So we're 5 covers through here, folks. So once again, if you've just joined us, found our channel, thank you for finding the channel. We are grading Vampirella magazine covers. And our scale here is from 1 to 10, with 1 being god-awful, all the way up to 10 being super awesome. So please, if you're watching along and you're in the chat, go ahead and score along with us, and we'll add your scores into our preliminary totals here. So with that, it is issue number 6, and we've gone once around the horn. So we're back to Eric Breen leading us off.
Eric Breen.
This I'm going to go 8.
Oh,
It's the first. I don't know, because I noticed this for I've been noticing this for like 40 plus years.
mm-hmm.
All the other Vampirella covers have all these just incredible paintings and whatnot. It's like, and this one just seems like, oh shit, we didn't do a cover yet.
A little phoned in.
It's like Ninja Turtles.
It's very good because I said, there are no bad covers in this title period,
right?
But against the rest of the ones we've seen and the ones we're going to see, I don't think this measures up to any of them. So this will probably be my low score of the night, but 8's the best I can do.
All right, fair enough. So I was going to ask you, how many of these Vampirella magazine issues have you had over the years?
I didn't have a 3, but I had a 1.
Okay,
and
wow.
I probably had about 50 or 60 of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're interested, I did see on my comic shop right now, they do have a CGC 9.8 number 3 for the low price of $4,500.
Nice.
Yeah, and that meant that book's raw for $600. So you got to be kidding. I want to be the person that owns the one that some fool pays $4,500 for. All right, I'll take 4. I'll be generous.
There you go.
All right, Pixel.
I'm going to have to give this one a 6.
A 6. Wow.
Listen, there's a lot of good detail work here, but when you have the main figure just, I'm not even sure what he's supposed to be. Like a dog thing?
He's wild.
It's a monster.
Yeah.
It's a muscle bound, horrible looking monster with a
mutant. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
he escaped from his grave. Look at.
Yeah. Well, if I don't think we come out of a grave looking like that.
Yeah. All right. Fair
and
enough.
then I think the girl looks fine enough, but it's just not. It's very much a meh. And isn't 6 meh?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, meh.
Or no, 6 is average. 5 is meh.
Then average. It's average. Yeah. And a bit of a meh, but more average than meh.
All right, Amy.
Yeah, it has some it has issues. And I don't mind technical issues as long as there's something creative or fun or engaging or something about it that really, catches your eye. There's some brilliant use of light or creative design or fun emotions, but this is pretty meh. I think I could probably do maybe a 7. I could probably do that.
Okay, 7 it is. Venkman, are you going to continue this parade of misery?
Wow. I gotta say though, the background looks like every background for those advertisements for Dungeons and Dragons or board games or fantasy.
It's very specific to that.
Oh my god. And yeah, and you just kind of threw the girl in there and she's like, oh my goodness, I'm stuck in this crappy book.
Well, since it's a cityscape, I'll say it's Twilight 2000, but I understand.
You can have the Ninja Turtles pop up. They're like, yo, what's up, bro?
And if it was whimsical, that would be cool. But
this, I gotta agree with her. This is a 7.
Okay. God, so let's see. Do I listen to the rest of you, or do I go with my first my first
for it.
instinct.
Join us.
Because I mean, when I first gazed on this, I was just so mesmerized by the background detail in terms of just how
Really?
realistic the bricks look.
Nice.
The peeled
Just-
plaster off
So
the
it's
side
still
of the
located.
building.
Yeah.
And then I also thought, the monster is really, really well done, lurking in the shadows like that. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'll give this a 9.
Awesome. That's
round it
great.
out. So
Yeah, people like different things. That's
Yeah.
okay.
It's the remake of Toxic Crusader, right?
what's that?
It's the new reboot for Toxic Crusader.
Yeah.
Measure.
Well, I guess evidently there's a Toxic Crusader movie that's been filmed that I guess is never going to see the light of day or something along those lines. I've heard.
What?
That's what I heard. Yeah.
So somebody has to leak it, right?
I've heard a couple people reference it or mention it. I don't know what all the details are behind it. Let's see here, but for our scoring purposes, Joe in the chat here gave it an 8. Dark Admiral gives it a 6. And let's see, Steven Spock gives it a 7, asking if this is eerie. No, this is Vampirella. Rad gives it a 6 as well, a 7 from Rhaegar, and an 8 from Jackson. And let's see, Jackson saying it's a young Elvira. Yeah. It could be One Slick Dude, also gives it an 8. And he says it's great background detail, but if that's supposed to be some sort of wolfman, was he needed with a club? He looks like a muscular guy they just stuck a gruesome head on. Fair enough. Let's see. Into Disguise gives it a 6. He's also praising the background, but the rest of it he thinks seems off. Rania is saying it feels like a repurposed crime cover, slightly changed to make the thug look like a critter.
Okay.
Warm magazine look, not a horror look, which knocks us down to a pulpy 9. And let's see. Rhaegar's noting that, yeah, for Warren, this is whimsical. Stephen Spock is saying, where's her purse? Well, she might have dropped it on the ground and it's in the mist there. Hey, MK, he's saying he will give this a quick 9. And MK is also telling me they're making a new Toxic game that's a beat 'em up. Well, it could be interesting. Let's see. And Dark Admiral is reminding everybody here that we might have Bats in the Belfry, but ring that bell, the notification, and give that like button a bump in the night. So that's a good one.
So somebody mentioned this. Asked if this is eerie.
Mm-hmm.
Warren was made this book, right, Eric, to compete with Eerie?
No, this Warren had
Same company.
Eerie and Creepy for about 4 or 5 years. Then they got this to add to the lineup.
Okay, that's what threw me off because I thought Warren was a separate from them.
Oh.
All right.
Yep. All right.
Okay,
So,
read the last comment.
not a
It's not
he.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
You know,
we don't know.
I know. No, we know, but we've known for a while. But in some places, you could get in big trouble for that.
yeah. Well, I apologize. I will prostrate myself here on the floor and beg your forgiveness. So, anyways, we have 4 6s. We do have 4 7s, and we've got 4 8s. I'm sensing a pattern that gets broken with just 3 9s.
See, I don't know what Steven Spock is. Is he Steve or is he Spock or is he a dog?
Yeah.
Any of this.
And this is going to give us our first 7 of the night. So
I'll let you live this time. Wow.
this might be the lower end of the spectrum here. So you can see what we have so far: 1 7, 3 8s, 1 9, and 1 10.
As long as you're on the spectrum. Right?
Well, too many people are, or at least claim to be nowadays, which
You
is
ain't lying there, my brother.
part of the problem, but we won't talk about that. We're talking Vampirella tonight, and we are moving on to issue number 7, and Pixel gets to start with issue number 7, which I feel like is a somewhat iconic cover.
He's going to say he hates it, though. So I'm not feeling it, though.
Yeah, so Pixel, number 7.
What wild manner of being is a witch woman? This is great. What are you talking about? I mean, No, I mean the creature in the background, like a saber-toothed tiger, I think it's supposed to be, but it looks a little more bearish. And then the details on the witch woman herself, it's astounding. Absolutely.
That's quite a pair of details indeed.
Are you not entertained?
Those are nice. Those are nice. But, I was referring more to the details of the... Okay. That's a 10.
The shading and everything. Yeah, she's very well done.
Yeah. So ultimately, I think I heard a breathless 10 in there.
That's a 10. Yeah.
10. Okay. Amy.
Yeah, this is a really good painting, and they've cropped it nicely. I mean, again, when you've got such great brushwork, you just kind of want to go full bleed and even see the edges on things like that. I love collecting like production art and just being able to see where everything tapers out. It's so cool to be able to do that. But they've cropped this a little closer. It's a great painting. It's a simple pose, but it's really well rendered. And the little knife here she's got in her hand, it's thrown back correctly. It's well shaded. It's got good texture. The colors are simple but nicely done, and I really do love the minimalist palette. That kind of like, I'm trying to think. There's a specific name for this kind of palette, but it's where they substitute like one of the blues for like a shade of like a grayish brown, and it's a really cool palette. Yeah, I really like this. I'd have to give this a 10.
Oh,
all right.
Mine's doing that glitch you did to Dalton last night where it doesn't pop up for me on StreamYard.
Oh, no.
Phone. But when looking at my phone, I was trying to look at the earrings because the way you tell if it's actually there it goes. It popped up finally on my screen.
You got it? Okay, good.
Yeah, it finally did update. StreamYard lag sometimes for me. So it finally. So the thing about the earrings, to tell if it's Vampirella or not, Vampirella has like little like bat earrings, like little things designs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can't tell if those. I think those are just regular crescent moon rings or whatever on their earrings.
Like some kind of a hoop.
I could pretty much tell based on the dress that it's not Vampirella, but
it is
probably one of her cousins.
Vampirella is worn other tops for. I mean, it's just it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great cover. I mean, I like that. And then you got the lion or the tiger there. He's just like looks like he's about to whine now. Here we go yet. I'm scared.
Well, she's there to protect him. It's okay.
Yeah. So, what's your score there, Venkman?
What mild manner of being is a witch woman? Read this trend setting. Oh, they're going for trend setting.
Uh-oh. Well,
I'm gonna give this a 10.
A 10. All right.
And it is Frank Frazetta too.
Yes, it is. So yeah, this is another Frazetta. As I say, I mean, I feel like it's an iconic one. As Amy mentioned, I love the brush strokes. You can almost see the fur here on the saber-toothed tiger.
If she doesn't wear bat earrings, Rager, then it's not Vampirella.
Yeah. So this is a 10 for me. Eric, are you going to make it a clean sweep?
Honest. After finding modesty with the last cover, we're back to wanton displays of flesh.
Oh.
There's no place for that in children's entertainment. But however, there is a hell of a place for it here, so this is a 10.
You also notice that when he draws the physique of the woman, it's not like the perfect one you see always in like today's stuff.
No.
Yeah, they're almost Rubenesque. They're very classically painted.
Well, he gave her hips for one thing, so
gave her hips, the stomach. You can see a little bit of roll a little bit there, so it's like
there are her organs.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're right there.
She's a livable thing.
Yep.
And
so
strong. And
let's see if the chat here agrees with us. In the skies, she comes out with a 9, saying misses a 10 because there's no background. And Steven Spock says 9. There's too many words. I didn't even notice the words. Dark Admiral gives it an 8. Rhaegar says this is a 10. And One Slick Dude says it's a 9. While it's great art, she has thunder thighs, and we have foreground but no background. Well,
she's got a background. Look behind her.
Yeah, and Marania is saying this cover focuses on the babe and the beast as it should to sell the book. No more horror elements like glowing red eyes on the critter and so on. Score a witchy 10.
Beast. Oh, there is something behind her.
Yeah, and Jackson scores it a 9 as well, saying she needs to be larger. Fair enough. Let's see. Marani is noting, I think, replying to one select dude there, that not every woman can be overflowing like a power girl. Oh, Jackson.
Her name is PG or Paige.
No, God, don't get me started on that god awful piece of crap. We're here to look at beautiful books. MK is giving it a 10, saying, "I'm a simple man," and yes, we know you are. All right, so let's see, 8, 12.
Really, we're drawing the line at tatas.
Yeah.
Well, there is a woman present. You got to be more gentleman.
Yeah. So
I
yeah, it looks
appreciate
like we lost possibly 1 or 2 voters there, but yeah, we'll hang out here and see if
I will
get
not
any
be
late votes.
vulgar in
But
front of Amy. I'll only be
for
vulgar
right
in front of her.
now, we've got an 8, we've got 4 9s, and we've got 8 10s. And so that is going to put this one into our second 10 of the night.
I wouldn't be surprised if Frank had his wife pose that like that, and he just painted her.
Oh, it's
it is
very
really
probable.
well done. You probably had a model.
And it's
Very probable. So there we go.
It's not like these new guys who just go look online and actually have look at other model stuff. Like they didn't have the internet back then.
Yeah.
Oh,
They didn't have
no.
like 3D models you could get to use as a reference for roughly how things would look from different perspective.
Oh, I'm sure he could hire models and what have you.
And this is another model he had when his wife was ready to kill him. He's laying down.
Yep. Here is issue 8, and Amy gets to start us off for issue 8.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yep.
Yes, you.
Let's see here. Well, there's a bug guy in the background, and there's
His name's
a
Tom.
fish lady, and she's got a knife, and there's Vampirella, and there's skulls everywhere. I mean, I admire the texture of the piece, and I do like some of the lighting that's used. It's kind of hard because the character that's in the background isn't from the same light source, so you don't really want to rate things that way. But the lighting at least isn't too confused. But there's some issues with the anatomy, and I feel like some of the shading wasn't used as well as it could be, and the layout for this overall would probably be. And this is the funny thing about these books, and I guess it makes sense for like lifestyle artists that they're more likely to go with a full figure drawing than a dynamic layout. So this is kind of a dynamic layout, but it's pulled too far back. And a different use of a camera angle would probably be good here. But you're not going to be able to do that if you're using models, which is pretty wild. Huh. I think it's interesting. I think I will give it an 8. It gives me a lot to think about, but I'm not dazzled as much as the other ones. But it is very good.
All right, an 8, Venkman.
When I first saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, they must have got a Marvel artist to draw this because it's on an angle. Then I realized they scanned it. When they scanned it, it wasn't completely straight.
Oh, yeah.
Because you never look at the titles boxes or on the Marvel books. They're never a perfect square or a rectangle. They're always skewed differently. Like they don't use rulers.
Just eye it. It's fine.
But I like this remind me of Breen, the Doctor Doom over the castle. The bug guy. And like it says, like Vampirella is on the cover. So there you go, Vampirella, ready to be sacrificed on a throne or some kind of altar that has a lightning bolt in the middle of it. So Flash Gordon will make appearance.
Okay.
And Unholy 7. So I'm like, the Unholy 7, that's like the 7 deadly sins. Now I'm really intrigued to read this. This is a 10.
A 10. All right. Yeah, at first glance, I do like it a lot, but I had to look it up just to double check, and it isn't a Frazetta cover. This is a Ken Kelly. And so just with that fact, because I think Frazetta would have made this a 10. So Ken Kelly, you get a 9. Eric.
Fun fact: those Kiss albums you love, Ken Kelly.
Now, see,
That would be interesting if I were a big Kiss fan, but okay.
But you got to admit those covers were cool.
oh yeah, absolutely.
The ones in the 70s, the paintings.
Yeah.
It looks like a metal album.
Yeah, I'm giving this a 10, just simply not because of the figures per se, but it kind of jumps out at you. The bug in the background's kind of intriguing. I don't know what's up with that. And I said it's the skulls hanging around there under the altar. It's just
hanging around.
Yeah, they're just hanging around. Well, what else are they gonna do?
Well,
get some coffee.
Like you said, 7 deadly sins. So like gluttonous.
Wait a minute. They get coffee before me. They're skulls.
I'm coming.
Where's my coffee, Carl?
I'll be right.
All right. And Pixel.
I have to give this a 9. I actually really love the looming bug god figure in the background, Todd.
It's pretty metal.
I think Vampirella is done well. I think even if she's a little off the altar, she's still done freaking well. Yeah. But my main issue is the witch that is trying to stab her. I feel it's just, it doesn't match. It doesn't look like they're actually about to stab her. It's like they stacked these things, bug god in the distance, then this random stabbing witch, and then Vampirella on an altar.
So they said the Unholy Seven, maybe she's possessed. This one's possessed by the Unholy Seven, and she's going to kill Vampirella?
Maybe, but that doesn't describe in the panel properly.
Don't
maybe they had imagination
to find out. But from our chat here, Rhaegar is saying this is worth only a 5, and In the Disguise is saying a 10.
Does he have a wrench?
No, Rhaegar does not. So Dark Admiral gives it a 6, and Steven Spock gives it a 7. In the Disguise is questioning Rhaegar. Joe gives it an 8. We are really all over the place on this one. One Slick Dude, a 9. While it makes me want to read it, the art should have been more of a close-up instead of being far away. MK is giving it a 10, saying he loves the shading. Girl about to shank Vampirella looks cool. I like the skulls and the giant bug monster. Dark Admiral's noting he thinks the bug and the altar are done well. The figures seem off. Jackson gives it a 7. Let's see, Frazetta's best work were his Molly Hatchet covers. Destroyer album has a cool cover, and let's see, Marani hasn't come in with her score yet. We'll give
She's typing a paragraph. Good time.
It very well could be, and it'll be interesting here when we get to the next cover. I think the next cover is going to be very divisive.
And Rhaegar is saying it looks blurry because, as I said, this was scanned. As you can tell.
Yeah.
That's what those glares are not even from the book.
Oh yeah, well, and I realized too. I mean, one other kind of drawback with this is that these were magazine size.
Yep.
So the art was actually bigger than what you would normally see, on a typical comic book cover. So, but let's see. Marani is saying great concept, but it would have benefited with more focus on Vampy and the danger scene. Too much negative space left for lettering over it. Looming bug critter pushes it to an unholy. So despite all of those problems, she still gives it a 10. All right, so still got 14, and we will go.
You notice the price on these though? These are 50 cents.
Yep. We get a 5, we get a 6, we get 2 7s, we have 2 8s, we have 3 9s, and we have 5 10s.
What year was this, Breen?
70 by then.
Yeah.
Or 69 still.
Jeez.
Yeah.
50 cents. That's a lot of money back then.
Actually, okay, so issue number 8 there, November 1970. So.
Okay, so it's all monthly.
Yeah, and with that pushes this.
I wonder when these actually took off.
The best it can do is, whoops, come on, get up there, is an 8. Doesn't quite reach the heights of a 9.
I wonder when this comic took off in popularity.
I imagine probably from the beginning.
The very beginning, you think it was popular?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So
these magazines were huge at this time.
With their treasury size? Oh,
No, they're
I know.
You know that.
Haven't you gotten a couple in the auction?
No, I was making a pun. You said they're huge back then.
No.
Oh, brother.
So let's see here. Oops, where am I? Okay, so issue number 9, as I say, it's going to be divisive, even though it is credited to Boris Vallejo and Wally Wood. So here is issue number 9, and RDV, you get to lead us off on issue number 9.
Ooh, Wally Wood. Holy crap! I have come. I have been waiting for you. Yeah. Keep your tits down. Let's see here. We dare you to read this shocker. The Boy Who Loved Trees, Professor Pixel. Look at him.
Here's a pixel finger.
I love my trees. Look at him in the corner.
Yeah.
My God, that is a pixel finger. Ah!
He's like, don't you like girls? No, I love trees.
If I'd been wearing the 3D glasses, I would have been ducking out of the way.
Right? Who needs Deadpool in 3D? He can just watch Pixel Finger right there.
Yeah.
The issue, The Curse, a Governor piece. That's right. We don't say that other word. We use Governor. By Wallace Wood. Dude, I like this. It's kind of campy, but also like you can still get the kind of horror elements. This is a 10 for me.
Okay. Boy, I'm really torn. So Eric, let me ask you. I'm guessing that because they had a story from Wally Wood in here, that they decided to do this kind of double cover instead of what they should have done, which was just go with the Boris Vallejo.
Well, you got to admit, it jumps out at you.
It does.
Yeah, I mean, it jumps out, but you're basically taking essentially an interior page, and then you've got, I'll still say it, the real cover inset. And
so that should be your icon now. The kid.
Yeah, because I mean, the Vallejo thing, if that were the full cover, yeah, it's an instant 10 for me because of just how gorgeous and dark that painting is.
I look at both the liner. Look at them.
And then the Wally Wood, but God, it's just the way that they're both combined. I'm giving it a 9. I'm sorry, I can't go 10 because of just the alignment. Pick one. So Eric,
I'm giving this a 10 for the the painting's great. Yeah, the Wally Wood piece would also have made a fantastic cover too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But just for the risk of doing this, I've never seen a cover like this to that point.
Yeah.
And yeah, that probably was a concession because this probably was Wood's first story for Vampirella. I know I'm fairly sure he did something in creepy and eerie, but yeah, but I said this for the risk taking alone and the fact that the painting's awesome, the drawing's awesome, I'm giving this a 10.
You know, it looks like
you get 10 extra cents for it because they raised the price.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds you of though? When they put those poly bags, you put the trading card in there in the front.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Pixel.
Don't let me down, Bruce.
I'm conflicted too because obviously that painting is astounding. It's amazing. But then the curse, these are two separate stories. But it feels like it's supposed to be connected for some reason. I don't know why. Her just standing there by the tree. The boy who loved trees. I know I love the babes. It's a 10 because honestly, both covers are good, but no, it's a 9. Okay. Sorry. It's a 9 because
no take backs.
I have because the Wally Wood one is not a complete cover of its own. It is a cover that has to have a cover half of it. So it's a 9. I'm sorry.
Picture that as Archie down below on that cover.
This is such an interesting piece. Like it, because we've looked at some of the covers before, and a lot of people had issues with the graphics layout because there's just a lot of empty space. And that's a really interesting way of addressing that. Like I said, it's just one of those things where you just kind of have to stop and look at it and go, huh. I'm not sure that I would pick those two styles together in this way necessarily, but I do like seeing something creative like that. Like, I'm kind of surprised we don't see this kind of formatting done more often. But then again, we don't often see books with a lot of varied stories and, you know, a lot of people working on it, because books are usually solo and don't have a lot of
but there is a current war magazine called Vampirella Carmilla that's bringing it back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, you can actually. Well, I know. I found it at Books A Million.
There's actually two of them, because there's a book called Shutters that was called Creeps, but James Warren threatened a lawsuit.
So, all right, Amy, what's your score?
You know what? Just for the creativity of the graphic art aspect of this, I'm going to give it a 10, because the illustrations themselves are all great. So, and I like the creativity of the design.
Hey, KG, what's up?
Put you down in the place of Pixels 10. Right, let's see here. We've got Rhaegar coming in with a 10, and we've got Into the Skies with a 10 as well. Dark Admiral with a 10. Let's see, Into the Skies saying, I like the contrast between the color and the black and white. Let's see, One Slick Dude also giving it a 10. Cover, like the cover and a cover. One line art. Jackson, a 5. Now that takes away any chance for this to be a 10. For their lack of faith in putting Boris on the entire cover. Yep. Steven Spock a 5. Joe gives it MK kind of splits the difference there and gives it a 7. Says cool art, just feels like one cover is overnight, the other one takes away. Then Marani says, honestly, they should have picked one or the other. Both are excellent. Chaos sells the book, which the cover should do. Double Wood Pun makes this a 10. And Rhaegar saying he gave it a 10 because of the alignment. And hello, KG. If you'd like to score and rate these comic book covers here, we're doing Vampirella magazine covers tonight. We're up to issue number 9 there. If you want to put your score in, it's a 1 to 10 scale, 1 being god awful, the 10 being super awesome. So thanks for joining us. And of course, if you have any, as you go back and watch this, you can add in scores in the comments for previous issues as well. But right now, we'll go ahead and I'll get a preliminary result here. We've got those 2 5s that are really going to drag things down, along with a 7, 2 9s, and we've got 9 10s. And I think, yeah, this is actually the cover that's gotten the most 10s tonight. But with those 5s and the 7s, that is going to drag it down. And it is going to be an 8.9, which means it is a 9, not a 10. So, once again, it shows the power of your vote as those 5s drag it down. So, there you go. That's our alignment so far. Whoops! Oh, there we go.
I do like it though. The color, it doesn't pop at you. Whether you think it's horrible or you think it's great, it pops. It gets your attention. Like it's supposed to.
So, okay, you're saying it may not count in November, but it sure counts tonight?
Yes. Sure. What you can interpret it any way you want. And we will go ahead. We are moving into double digits and issue number 10. As we're heading into the home stretch here tonight. Issue number 10 with the Hideous Monster. And, of course, when we're talking about Hideous Monsters, you have to go with me here, of course. I was going to give this to Venkman and realize, oh, I'm the one that's up for this one. Oh, well. Yeah. This is a great profile. Let me double check if this is... I don't think it's Frazetta because I don't see his signature on there. Let's see who did this one. Oh, Bill Hughes. All right, Bill.
Father of Adam.
Well, that is... What was that?
The father of Adam.
Well... definitely good looking. That is a very classic pose. I'm giving it a 10. So, Eric.
7.
Really?
Yeah, that
Okay.
the thing on the leash just looks like a dork. It really does. It's
You don't
Wait a
want
minute, there's something on a leash. I completely missed that. I'm like,
Alicia's here?
outside
What?
going,
yeah.
there
I
was a
said, well,
car?
that's okay because I missed a giant saber tooth. So what do I do? Guys will be guys.
I was about to make the joke. What are my parents doing here on a photo?
Oh, yeah. All right, Pixel, you're up.
I'm going to. I can't give it a 7. It has to be a 10 because I think the creature itself is still well done. That woman is stunning.
Yeah.
Hair's a little goofy, but stunning. But I
Oh,
do love.
It's 1971. That's the way hair looked in 1971.
Yeah. That's a little much.
She
it's
looks
true,
like
though.
one of my teachers. Trust me, that's what
Yeah,
they
it's
do.
true.
So, look.
Charlie's Angels,
So-
same thing. They
Yeah.
really
So, Amy.
Whew. Yeah. The structure. Oh boy, the structure isn't bad. Her proportions are well. Her arm and to her wrist there is pretty well done, and the hand pose is okay, and the leg could be worse, but the draping isn't great, and the the texture the artist is using for the hair and the fabric, I kind of get the feeling that I don't know if this is just super super duper rushed or if he's let's just leave it at that. I think I'd have to her face is nice, but I think I'd have to give this a 6. It's not quite painfully bad, but
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay, let's see what the chat did. One slick dude. Thanks for being here. Joe gives it an 8. Rhaegar gives it an 11. I think we can only go to 10, so I'll just mark you down for a 10. In Disguise 7, like the artwork, once again, too much wasted space. Cinema is back, and he gives it a 6. Jackson is here, 8. Eric Green was posing for paintings back then. Okay, now I need to go. No, you're just fine. You're just not in the will anymore. KG and Stephen Spock both give it 8s.
Huh, am I still on the stream?
Yeah, let's see. Dark Admiral gives it a 9. Yeah, you're still here, Venkman.
Yeah, you just skipped me, that's all.
I thought you gave a score.
No, you started off.
Okay, well, okay, Venkman, what do you score?
I want to say, you don't want to miss these soft, sweet lips, okay? Let me speak. This is a 10. I like it. I love how corny the guy is. And this was an introduction of simps back then, before they had OnlyFans.
well, that's okay too.
All right, so Venkman with the 10. MK comes in with a 9, saying it would have gotten a 10 if not for her hair placement. That white thing in the front exists, and my pet monster waving over there just takes it away. In Disguise is noting, look up the video for Venus. OG, that was sexy in the early 70s. Rhaegar is stunned by the underboob. And then waiting for Marani again. So she must be writing a paragraph or rewriting things there.
Guys, there are women here. You can't be sexist.
So
they leave.
No, this is a safe space. And there's Marania saying Beauty and the Beast cover, which fits the vampy sort of cover theme. Cover would have benefited from a not obnoxious orange solid background. Score a hideous 8. Wow.
Wow. See,
Wow.
I love the color orange, so.
All right. Well, try as we might. I mean, the scoring here, I don't think this is going to make a 9, but let's see. 2 6s. We got 2 7s. We've got 5 8s, 2 9s, and 4 10s.
Rhaegar, what are you talking about? I didn't say that. I didn't say she wasn't.
Yeah.
Are you on a delay?
So this comes into a very pedestrian 8. So the 5th 8 of the night. And there you go. You can see it right there. And we are moving on to issue number 11. Yeah, let's see. I need to put up the stop. And then the
Eric's
starts.
turn. Right?
Yeah, we have gone around the horn, and we're back to Eric.
All right. Let's see.
Beware of the green plague, indeed.
She's got a sickle there. Or scythe, sorry.
Yeah, well, she just got something. Look at all the red on it.
I know.
I like how you can't see under the top of her mouth because you don't know what it's. So for the mystery, and there's a sigh in one hand, a snake in the other.
And a
There's,
lizard with a monocle.
I mean, there's, yeah, I don't know if this is like an early statement on feminism.
She cut the snake off. Ooh.
Well, it's
Yeah,
May of 1971, so.
Oh, are those birds?
So, given that, this is a 10.
A 10. All right. All that hemming and hawing ultimately comes up with a 10. It is a Frazetta cover.
It wasn't a 10. I've
so
given
Pixel.
short, terse answers all night. I figured I'd give a long one.
Yeah.
Pixel?
Yep. Pixel.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear him say. This is a 10. I mean, look at that. The background itself is interesting. You have the lizard right there in the front, and then the woman herself with the shadows just covering. I can make out the small details of her bottom lip, but it's shaded enough that it feels like this otherworldly creature while having a stunning figure. So it's a 10.
Yeah. Okay. Did you catch yourself there starting to say boob instead of background?
No, I was being legitimate. The background.
Don't beat her on the bush.
Yeah.
All right.
The idea.
Amy, your thoughts?
It's an interesting figure, right? It's well rendered, as much of it as you can see. The lighting is done nicely with it, and that's really dramatic. It is kind of interesting how she's sort of made out of the same colors as the rock and the rest of the environment around her, and I'm not exactly sure is that like deliberate, but I guess maybe it is. It looks like there's are those birds in the foreground?
I don't know.
Maybe
The bottom there, the left.
Yeah, on the bottom left hand side of the picture.
Dead birds, probably.
Sort of looks like some birds in flight or something. There's interesting elements in here. So I think it's a really well rendered figure. I would like to have maybe a little more contrast so I could see more about what's going on or have a clear idea of what this is. But there is a lizard with a monocle. So it's a 10.
It's a 10. All right.
It is giving you a side eye.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, Dr. Venkman.
Well, at first I was looking at the girl, her face, so it kind of looks like Evil Lynn. Man. I didn't notice the snake at first, but I saw it was the blood on the scythe, and I'm thinking like, who did she kill? And then
I think she just has it painted.
It just says it's painted, yeah.
Because it looks cool. She figures it looks metal if she just paints it red and goes there.
I love that lizard. He just stands out, or iguana.
Right?
Just beware of the epidemic of the green plague. Hear that?
I guess he's the green plague.
He's something of a scientist himself.
Yep.
I'm giving it a 10. I love this. The mysterious, she looks kind of very like dark, monstrous. I would have run across her path.
Okay. Yep. I will join the panel. I will give it a 10. So let's take a look here what we've got in the chat. In a Disguise is saying, oh, I like that one, and gives it a 10. Rhaegar gives it a 9. Steven Spot gives it a banging 10. Or an exploding 10. Rhaegar said he gives it a 9 because the lizard has a monocle. So
yes, right?
I guess he's anti-monocle then because he gave it a 9 instead of a 10 because of the monocle. But, Joe gives it a 10. MK is saying, is this Vampy Reaper or did she become deaf? I'll go 10 if it's Vampy became Hugh Shabbat. Okay, I'm not sure what that reference is. But sure, we'll mark that as 10. Marania saying, now this is what a Vampy cover should look like. Demon Woman, Beast, Bloody Weapon, just enough moody background. Score a Plague 10. Let's see. Dark Admiral, a 9. Something strange is going on with her abdomen. She has an abdomen. And let's see. It looks like that's all the scores we have there. We've had a couple folks here drop off as we've gotten into the 11 o'clock hour here, midnight on the East Coast. But thank you for hanging in there. We're almost through this round of covers tonight.
Don't forget to vote in the poll. We've been tied for the past 10 minutes.
Oh, wow. Well, definitely check that out. Let's see here.
Can I pretend like I'm in Chicago and break the tie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve
so Zora
Spock is saying
wins.
it's a lady now. Yeah. Well, normally we have the vice president that breaks the has the tiebreaker vote, but we'll see. Anyways, we have 2 10s or 2 9s rather, and 10 10s. Oops. Try that again. 2 9s and 10 10s. And I'm pretty sure we can call this one a 10. So our third 10 of the night, I believe. Get to the tracker. And
Speaking of the vice president, have you noticed how many times we have to see her when we click on a video now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Biden Victory Fund has been running a stream of.
You know what I'm loving? All these videos showing like when like Biden went behind his neck and his hand disappears into his neck, like it's CG, like it's or a mask. And people are pointing out this Biden's taller. This one Biden doesn't slur his words. This Biden,
it's
like conspiracy
it's
everywhere.
Perspective and hyper focus with these super HD style cameras. I mean, it's.
And I'll say this: I think that their side's probably adding to the conspiracy that make it seem like it's not real.
Today,
all right,
not tomorrow, not yesterday, because yesterday's already happened, and tomorrow may be too late.
Yeah, well, just unburden yourself with what is to come. But anyways, we are down to the final issue tonight, issue number 12. Not a Frank Frazetta cover. This is I think it was a San Julian cover.
Is this a homage cover?
And this is Pixel. So Pixel, you get to start us off here on issue number 12, the last one of the night.
Is this the end of Vampirella? I really do like that Dark Angel. Something is slightly off with Vampirella. And I don't mean that thing to decide. I think it's a 9. It's like it's almost perfect, but something's up with Vampirella's shading that's just not sitting with me.
Yep. All right, Amy.
I think this is probably one of the better layouts that they've done. Like as like a comic book layout, you could almost see this be done by like a comic book artist. It's a big image. It's close. It's kind of a dynamic pose. But yeah, it just feels really confused, or maybe it looks like he's got his arms up in the air going woo, but he's also picking her up.
I think those are wings.
Yeah, those are wings because he's the Dark Angel.
How are those wings? They're coming out of the front of his shoulders.
It's the shadow. It looks like they're coming out of his back.
Back and up.
Awesome 80s shoulder pads.
Oh, awesome. Those are some really awesome 80 shoulder pads then. Yeah, I admire a lot that they did with this, but I'm not really in love with it either. But I think I would have to give it an 8.
An 8. All right.
It is good for a lot of reasons. It just doesn't seem to me.
Yeah, and I'm going to join you with the 8 there. And it's one of those cases where when I think of some of the other artists that we've seen tonight and what they could have done with this, again, put this in the hands of Frazetta, and I think there's so much more detail and nothing else vampy looks more Vampirella. So yeah, I'll go with an 8 there. Eric.
I think I'm going to join the choir.
All right, me too. When I get my turn,
Okay, well, Venkman,
you keep skipping me.
What say you? I
This is a
skipped
10.
you once. All right, a 10.
Skip me twice.
A 10 for Venkman.
No, looking at this, it's right above like a graveyard, dude. I love that.
Yeah.
I love this. It's just great. I love the font color changes and the different style too. It really makes it more dramatic. And the dude's missing his eyes. Like that's freaky enough as it is.
Yeah.
He said, and I don't think there's anything wrong with her shading. Shading doesn't want to sit with you, Puppetine. That's because you say it. So.
I think there's some other things wrong with Vampirella, but I'm not going to go there.
Well, if you're talking about her knee thing, that he's gets his hand, he's got like a
yes. I'm talking about her knees.
There's an
All right, let's see from the
shoulder.
chat. From the chat, we've got KG coming in with a 9. We've got Steven Spock coming in with a 10, and giving it a star on top of it. MK is saying, I guess you could say Kamala was 5. Yes, ha, and rates the cover a 10. It looks grim, and I like it. It's like the Crisis Superman holding Supergirl's body cover. Well, yeah, and the fact that this happened. Let's see. Whoops. Be 3 10s. How many years before Crisis? Crisis was what, 84? So at least a decade ahead of its time. Dark Admiral gives it a 9. He says he wishes the wings looked more like wings.
I thought Crisis was 85. It was 86
Okay,
is when Burn.
Let's see. In Disguise, 9 foregrounds, great, very vampy, but too much negative space.
Or did they start in 84 and go through 85?
Yeah. Marania, it's a Pieta image cover or homage cover. Dark Angel used to frame possibly dead vampy. Simple, effective. Seltzer scores at a deadly 10. And Rhaegar, significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there's great significance of the passage of time. He gives it a 7, trying to do his best. Kamala.
Can I borrow a chair?
Let's see. And Dark Admiral, hey, good night. And I think that's all the scores we've got for issue number 12 here. So we'll go ahead and add things up. And we've got 1 7, we've got 3 8s, 3 9s, and 4 9s and 4 10s. And that will, that will actually push this one up to a 9. So I was a little surprised by that, but it does reach the 9. So
it's reaching for the sky.
Number 12 here, and we will plop that into the 9.
Hi, Admiral.
So what we wind up with, let's see here, you can see, doggone it, my dumb mouse here. There we go. That's good. We have 1 7, 5 8s, 3 9s, and 3 10s. And let me get the chat back here. And I'll put the stop sign here for the night.
How many of these Vampirella covers did you own that we're showing tonight, 1 through 12?
At one point, probably half of them.
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
Because at this point, I have none of them.
I would have took your books, the collection.
Yeah. So Eric, which is your favorite 8 and which is your least favorite 8?
My favorite 8 is number 1.
Okay.
And my least favorite is the one at the end.
Okay. All right. So no changes there. Pixel, favorite and least favorite.
My favorite is that strange woman in a purple world. And my least favorite, I think, is... I know I gave it a 10, but I think I have to agree with Eric. I think that's where it should be.
Good night, Joe. Who's Rhaegar keeps giving us Kamala-isms there, or Kamala-isms. I have to catch myself there. She's not a Ugandan giant. Amy, favorite and least favorite.
Oh, my favorite's the little goldfish robot.
Okay.
I think that's a fun one. Least favorite, yeah, it's that one.
Here.
So that one can stay where it is.
All right. And Venkman, favorite and least favorite of the 8s.
Least favorite is the fish. The one on the fish.
Oh, this one here.
That's my least favorite.
Okay.
Favorite is number 1.
Is number 1. Okay, we got 2 votes for number 1. Let's see. Up to me with the 8s. You know what? I guess I'm. Yeah. I'll leave it. I'll leave it as it is. I think the middle one is a little bit better than the purple background one, but this one got a vote as the favorite. So I'm good.
Vote as a favorite.
Leave it this way. So of the 9s, Eric, favorite and least favorite.
Well, first, I say you mentioned the Ugandan giant. I still wouldn't vote for, but if Kamala Harris ever started drumming on her belly, I'd probably think more of her. My favorite is the split cover, and my least favorite is the one that's already there in the end.
Okay, Pixel.
I think that my favorite is no. That's how it should be.
Okay, Amy.
Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, I think so. That's good the way it is.
Good the way it is. Okay, well, that's 3 votes. So, Venkman, any thoughts?
I think that is funny that Raker's quoting Kamala, and then Joe's leaving.
Yeah.
Favorites is the split cover, like it is, and you know what? Leave it like it is. That's those
Okay.
favorite. Yeah.
We are leaving the 9s like it is, and so Eric, favorite and least favorite of the 10s.
I think my favorite is the one in the middle, and the least favorite is the one that's already there.
Okay, Pixel.
I concur.
All right, Amy.
I would say my favorite is, I still think the one with her cousin there is probably, I think, the most fun. So I like that one. They're all great, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Least favorite? They're all great. Oh man, that's so hard. Is it because the lizard's got a monocle, which is kind of amazing, but I think the lighting's better with the little wildcat. So I guess if I had to say least favorite, it would probably be my little lizard with a monocle.
All right. Well, that's
not the lizard.
Favorite and least favorite.
My favorite is the middle cover, just like Amy's.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Two and 2 here. Least favorite.
And the bear or whatever that is my least favorite.
Oh, wow. That got a point there. So let's see here. I get to cast the deciding vote, and I am moving this one back. This is by far my favorite. Honestly, probably my least favorite would be the cousin here, but this one's already got 3 votes, so we'll leave it. We'll leave it as it is. So that will wrap things up. That is the list.
Family.
That is the list for tonight of Vampirella. So again, pretty good spread. 7, nothing lower than a 7. And even you could argue a 7 here would be a 10 or a 15.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Today's context. So appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. Again, it sounds like we're going to have a wacky England team birthday stream tomorrow night. So again, same start time, right around 10:30 Eastern. And we're either going to be taking a look at Captain Carrot and the Zoo Crew covers, or
I think he said he's doing Amazing Man.
Did you say Captain Carrot?
No, he mentioned Captain Carrot. I thought that was what won the
Captain Carrot.
But he also said he liked offline. He also said he liked Amazing Man. So
hey, it's all good, right?
Yeah, who knows? It'll be some wacky set of covers. It'll be interesting. It'll be fun. So I do hope you join us. And
Attendance is optional.
yeah, and as we see with the poll, currently with 19 votes,
Can we get one more vote?
we have
got a tie here.
We have a tie. So Zorro got 11%, Flash Gordon got 26%, Shadow and the Phantom each at 32%. So if we get another vote, because the poll's not closing, because we can't close the poll.
I voted for Zorro because I want to get some sweet Del Zorro.
Yeah, I voted for Flash Gordon because I thought those would be some pretty wacky.
Same here.
And I'm guessing too that actually, if somebody voted for Flash Gordon right now, we would have a 3-way tie.
Excuse me,
Amy, did you vote yet?
Yeah.
Go vote for Flash Gordon.
No, did you vote?
I didn't know we had a poll.
Yeah, if you're on, go on if you're on your computer or phone, go in there and the app.
Yeah. If you can, hop into the YouTube and check the poll out there. But that's the way it stands right now. We'll see what the final is. But once again, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. We appreciate it. So once again, of course, if you do like this kind of content, click the like button and please subscribe. Click that bell for notification. And if you do want to support the channel, you can make a contribution through Ko-Fi there at ko-fi.com/Englandteen from I Love Comics.
Let's see, you voted for Flash Gordon, Amy.
Amy, did you write in Cliff Cornwall?
Yeah. Are we getting good support?
So suddenly Zorro picked up 4 percentage points, and we still have a tie between Shadow and Phantom. So there you go, folks. So thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great week coming up, and we will talk again. Thank you, panel. And, and good night, everybody.
Night, everyone.
Good night.
A lot of Dan Curtis production.
There we are.